positives and negatives for your run game. It seemed like you guys didn't have a chance to really get it going like you would have, but what did you see out of it?
You know what, biggest thing is a lack of consistency. You know, and that was that's been the big talk is really appreciating the rep that you're in on and how important your job fits it. You know, never knowing if it's the piece of the puzzle that's going to create the big play. You know, so we've been hammering them and about being consistent, about finishing doing their job, doing it through the whistle, being detailed in their approach, and you know that was it. You weren't consistent with it. Had some nice plays here, nice plays there. All of a sudden, you're inconsistent where you get out of the running game because you get out of your normal down and distance, and probably pulled us away from that because of it.
Was it the offensive line? Was it the tight end?
It was a little bit of everyone. That was just it. You know, you could point to a guy on a play, and then that was the conversation. Don't be that guy. You know, we gotta shore it up. Every guy's got to take care of their business consistently each play, and that's how you sustain drives. That's how you're able to keep running the ball. So that's the concerted effort this week.
About that offensive line, I mean, you know, kind of a tough night for everyone, obviously. But, I mean, it seems like there were some bright spots on that offensive line. Do you feel like you have something to build on with that group?
You know what? I'm excited about the guys. I'm excited about how they work and their approach. And there's some things that you see that excite you. But like I said, it comes down to being consistent. And in an O-line, if you're consistent, your pieces of that puzzle, your tight ends, your fullbacks, your backs, you know, if everyone can kind of continually kind of be on par with that, then you got a chance to kind of get things going and come back to things. But it was just the inconsistencies, you know. So are there bright spots? Yeah, you watch a play, you're like, that's exactly what we want. Come back to it, you know, a few plays later, and oh man, we're off here. This is what happened. This is the play. But you know, when we're going to sustain it, we got to be on.
If you can estimate how many times were there times where you were physically beat compared to how many times the technique would have helped you?
You know what? Sure, you can go by it through positions, but I know there were times at tailback we could have been better with the reads. You know what I mean? There were a couple of times it was blocked pretty well and we just got outside it. There were a few times I know at tight end, really same thing. You know, didn't detail it up, and I'm sure it flows over into the O-line. But you know, I think there's going to be times when you're physically beat. But if you're on your landmark, if you're right footwork, there's a lot of things you can do that don't take talent. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of doing your job and being detailed with it, and those are the things we got to make sure of.
Joe, I think Tyler had more rushes than he had catches. Could you talk about how you would like to be able to use him to get him involved as much as possible?
You know what? He does a heck of a job with the ball in his hands. He does some things that, you know, I don't know like how much coaching, like the one cut on the jet was a pretty nice play. You know, so I think if there are opportunities to do things like that, you want to take advantage of it. But it's got to be within our scheme. But wouldn't hesitate to put the ball in his hands.
Is he the type of player though that you could have he could have his own package of plays?
Yeah, I mean there are. I think there are, but they're not plays that we wouldn't run for the Z. You know what I mean, or for his position. They're just he opens it up to saying, okay, it went from that could be a good play to that is a good play. So he kind of opens that up to you.
When you sat down with Tom and really evaluated his game on Monday night, what were some of the things he did well, and what are some of the things he needs to do better?
You know, I think the same message kind of flows through him. It is consistency. You know, did some great things. You know, and then there's some times where you know we can just make better decisions and be smarter, and it's that consistency. So when we weren't consistent, it obviously hurt us. You know what I mean? You can get away with it in a game. This game, competition's too good. You got to be on. Each guy's got to be on, and it's that fight. It's that fight to be consistent, play in and play out.
Is it tricky this time of year? You got guys like Tyler, like James Conner, freshmen that you've seen a little bit of. But guys that had some plays like Tyler, is it tricky knowing when to get them involved, how much to get them involved, or do you kind of like that process, how it goes?
Well, I think the trickier part is when you talk to them about appreciate the rep. You know what I mean? Really take advantage of the chance that they're in, and you're not talking to someone that has had 2 years on a scout team, and is fighting their tail off to be on the travel squad, and then it's their third, fourth year, and now they're playing special teams and they're getting a chance at their position. They just got here and they're playing. So sometimes, it's kind of a mixed message, you know what I mean? So it's our job to coach the heck out of making them understand how important their role is on each play. But I think you got to be smart with them, you know what I mean? I think you got to be smart. It's going to be a long season for them. This bye week early gives us a chance to kind of keep growing and keep getting better and refocus. But I think you got to be smart. They are just the year out, but keep pushing them.
They're beyond your normal freshman as far as what you can give them to handle, what they can handle?
Well, they're beyond. I'm excited with them. I love their approach. I'd say I'd say they're all you can. I would say it's everything you can imagine, from how they approach practice to how they work to really, you know, they in a game against Florida State and they don't miss a beat, feel 100% they should be there, and you love that about them. You know what I mean? Absolutely love it about them. So that excites you. The reason they're out there early is as much to do with the overall depth that you have as anything, but there was nobody kind of worried to step foot on that field and compete, so love that.
They're not overwhelmed then.
No, that's what you love about them. I mean, there was no one with wide eyes and kind of like, whoa, me, I'm in. I mean, they were ready to go, so appreciate that.
A lot of learning takes place between the first and second games. Is it really big for you guys to have the extra time?
Yeah, I think it's huge. You know what I mean? I think we got to grow. I mean, it's not camp, but it's kind of like a pocket where we can truly gain some more. Not like sometimes it's you know, getting into a game and running a play and then really understanding it and really feeling it and seeing how much more that can develop. So we're taking that with that approach. We're teaching and each day out here trying to get them to truly understand the whole picture.
What stands out of the New Mexico defense on the video?
You know what? They play hard, man. I mean, they played their tails off last week. It was a battle, and they go in and they pull it out. And, you know, they come off the first week, and it had been easy to kind of be in a battle like that and not do so. But I see them play and run and try to make plays, and you appreciate the way they compete.
Sounds good.